Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. First things first, I must apologise for failing to upload a video on Monday. As many of you would have known, we had the show on Sunday, the Bristol Invert Show, which was an absolutely amazing day. A very long day. We were up at 5 and we didn't get home till about 8. So it was a very, very, very busy day. It was exhausting, absolutely exhausting. Yeah, and I thought I'd done a video, so I didn't really give it much more thought past that. And then it wasn't until Monday morning when we were sort of stirring, trying to get some sort of life back out of ourselves, that we actually realised, oh dear, we didn't do a video. No video. So very, very sorry about that. And we have been playing a bit of catch up ever since. So anyway, back on to normal now, I hope. So what we're going to do, we are going to set up a really, really, really pretty spider now, and one that we haven't seen much of lately and don't hear much of really. That is the Phormingochilus hati. Now this was a spider some years back that was very, very popular, really, really popular. And we bred them a number of times, and unfortunately we lost our breeding female a year or two ago now, mainly through, I think, was just old age. She was getting on a bit, and yeah, so we had a collection come through only the other week, and there was a lovely female in there, and I was like, right, we're going to keep that and we're going to put her in our collection. And then hopefully we can breed from her as well. So she is in here. We are going to have a real proper good look at her very, very shortly. So what we're going to do, we're going to make up this thing. We're going to have a nice simple enclosure, nothing too fancy. And as you know, we like to keep things as simple as possible. There's no need in making it too complicated. So what we're after all the time is we want something that's pleasing to the eye, and we also want something that's actually serviceable as well. You need to be able to work it properly. If we can't work it, it doesn't matter how pretty it might look or how fantastic it is. If we can't work it and look after our spider and maintain our spider, then it's pretty much a waste of time. So we are going to put just a nice piece of bark here. This is just stuff that we pulled off. It actually looks like a piece of old fur. It's very, very dry, so there's going to be no harm there.
Did you just say you pulled off your wood?
Sorry? Don't. It's been a busy day again, and she's off already. I do sometimes wonder. Do you know what? Now I've done this, I ain't entirely sure I like it. See, look, you've thrown me now. I'm not sure I like that at all.
It's a lovely bit of work. Don't you think?
Is it? It is. It just don't fit. It don't work. Oh, dearie me. That is not going to happen. You've done me now. I did have an idea in my mind. As you probably realise, my mind is becoming quite a bit of a blank space. And I had an idea in there, and now it's gone. This is not going to work. I'm not happy with this at all. All right, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, we'll have a nice look at the plant. Yeah, you're bored with the plant now. We're back. We've got ourselves a piece of bark now. I'm going to save this bit for something else because this just isn't going to work. What we want really is something. This is the hati. Is an arboreal spider from Indonesia, and because of such, she likes, as you might imagine, to be up in the air. Let's have a little look, see what we've got going on now. Oh, let's see, look, this is looking better, isn't it? Yes, David, say. Yes, David.
Yes, Dave.
Yes, David. Right. What we want. I'm going to put that in there. This is one of the benefits of actually having a bit of surplus stuff kicking about. We can get ourselves out of trouble nice and quick. So yes, the hati is one of them spiders that's is an arboreal spider, and they really do enjoy having a little bit of a secluded spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this plant in here. I think that's going to cover that. We're going to get our water bowl. Unfortunately, I've got to use a white lid because I can't find a green one. Unless I use that one. This is the one that I use to actually catch all my bits of loose glue. Now remember, when you're playing with this stuff, it does get really, really hot.
Every time you say that, you burn yourself. Don't.
No. It has been the absolute death of me, this stuff of recent. You put that in there like that. Alright. So I'm going to do that. That's our water in. So now we can get our plant sorted out. As you'll see with a lot of these plants is they do seem to have like a good side and a bad side, a bit like us really. Put a little bit more soil in there. Now I'll be honest, with these plants there is an absolute knack in the watering, getting them just so. I'll put that in there like that. Talking of watering, we've got this bit of moss here. Now this has been starved of light. This has been in the bottom of my bag, and that's why it's gone this funny colour. It's actually been starved of light. It's still quite damp, but the light has taken everything out of it. So hopefully, 9 times out of 10, this stuff will come back.
The lack of light has took it out of it, yeah.
Yeah. It's it does like a little bit of light, doesn't the moss? But where it's been in the bottom of the bag, it hasn't really done it any favours, but we're hoping that it will come back. So we're going to put that in there. We've got a couple of little branches here. Let's see what we can do here. So, being an arboreal spider, we want to try and give it some areas where it can clamber about and hopefully sit out a little bit. Now we've found with ours in the past that they can be quite a secluded sort of spider. They don't really like to do a great deal, but when they do come out, they're an absolute pleasure to see. So there we go. We've got that like that. You might be sitting there thinking, cool, we're going to be lucky to see her in there. She will come out and about. So we're going to do that. Right, so let's get rid of move our stuff out of the way, and then we're going to see if we can't get this one to sit out on our bit of wood so we can get a really nice look at her, because she's one of them spiders that we really do want to see a little bit more of her. Right. We've got our trusted bit of wood here. This is the bit the camera lady really likes, because this is where it could all go wrong. So, now I'm hoping that the light will pick up the real colour in this spider. It really is something else. So then, are you ready? Just going to tease her out nice and gently. These can be very, very fast. They can be quite defensive. But if we're gentle, we should be able to manipulate her, get her to do what we want. Here we go. There we go. There she is. Now, as you can see, hopefully, she is like a midnight blue. Is that better? Now look at that. That is almost like what we call a midnight blue on that abdomen. There's a green carapace. You can see the way the light catches the colour in. The first section of her legs is looking to me like it's jet black, and then the rest goes blue. What a fabulous looking spider that is. Look at that. Not at all bothered by the light, which is quite surprising because these are a pretty much strictly nocturnal spider. You don't really see them out in the day very much at all. Now, you know that we try and feed most of our stuff so that we get to see it. It's not very strong. I think the battery.
No, it's perfect.
But with these guys, you need to have a little bit more of a routine. So for a girl this size, we're looking with dubia roaches. You know, every sort of 7 days or so, give her a nice big roach, and that will keep her going. She is in wonderful condition, absolutely beautiful, and being very, very well behaved. Very impressive. As we said, these guys come from Indonesia. Now, they do like it quite warm. Our room's sitting around about 80 degrees most of the time. They absolutely love it. And
yeah, hands getting lazy.
And then with our, it's the actual, I need new batteries. Me light's not very strong.
I'll see it from the front now.
Right, we're going to give it a go. Better not eat that. Here you go, look at that. See how she moved the moment we moved it.
Kind of left the torch pointing there, so.
Yep, don't worry. I'm going to be back. Here we go. So yeah, these guys do like it on the warm side. They appreciate that extra temperature. Try and let me try and sort this out so I don't have to hold it.
That's going right in my face.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is try and get her to open up a bit. There we go. We don't want you to walk off though. That's the main thing. We don't want you to walk away. So yeah, they do like it rather warm. They really benefit from having some sort of heat source. And in terms of humidity, these guys do like it humid as well. Now, we're still getting lots and lots of people asking about humidity. And humidity is not about spraying your spider. It's all about, we're looking for humidity in the air, which doesn't mean we need to soak our enclosure to do that. So, as you know, we don't spray many of our enclosures. Some of them we do, but not many. And the vast majority of them, if you keep your substrate damp, then you will, with a warm room, you will actually get that humidity, which is what we're after. This is what you need to be thinking about. If you're unsure, we have done a couple of videos on humidity, so go back, have a look at them. If there's things you're unsure about, put it in the comments and we can try and tidy them up and just see where we go from there. Now these spiders here, I class these as a sort of intermediate spider. They're you know, they can be a bit fast, they can be a bit defensive. As you've seen there, by being careful how we actually handle her, she's as good as gold. She's really, really good. So they don't have to be really naughty.
You're going to get a nice picture.
I'm going to get a really nice picture because we
Oh, she's on the move.
yep, that's because I've moved this, you see. She's felt that and she's moved. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to pick this up, turn it around there. Oh, that's not so bad, is it? We were going to try and get a picture. So yes, we're they're not that bad. I think if as an intermediate spider, these guys are fairly good. If you're relatively calm, just try and get her to open up again. They always look better in a picture if they actually open up. That's it. Perfect. Perfect. Not so perfect. That's terrible. So let's just try and get this to open up. Once you get them on the move, they're absolutely wonderful. See if we can't get a bit of extra light. Wow. These actually, the colouring of these remind me sometimes of the Minax. They have a similar sort of colouring. Right, so what we're going to do now, she's been so good, we're going to get her to come up into here. As you can see, there's been no defensive behaviour at all. It's always been nice and gentle. Look at this. What we're doing is we're just stroking her abdomen. She's moving at her own pace. There you go. She's in. As easy as that. So as we've seen there, these guys like it warm, they like it humid. We're looking at around about sort of 70% humidity is more than enough. Now, when we talk about humidity, remember, we're not going to be chasing them numbers. So if you've done an enclosure like this and you've got this in your home and you're watering your plant or you're overfilling your water bowl, that will give you enough humidity to keep this spider happy. If you spray it and it doesn't dry out relatively quickly, then you run the risk of having it too wet. So this is why in our room here we can get away with spraying certain enclosures with my spray gun. I can literally give them a good soaking, and some of them I absolutely soak them. But we have the advantage here where that same enclosure would have dried out within an hour. It would literally be again dry to the touch, and all of that water would have gone down into the bottom of the enclosure, and that's where it sits, and the moisture remains within that soil, and then because of the heat we have in the room, it just slowly comes up and it evaporates through into the enclosure, and this is what causes our humidity. It's not the wet droplets, you know, it really is. So once again, for all those at the back of the room and the hard of hearing, we have to try and make sure that our substrate stays moist, not wet, just moist. So if you look at maintaining your plants, that should give you the real, you know, pretty much what you want to keep that spider in a nice humid environment.
And the temperature comes into that as well.
Yeah, the temperature. Yeah, you need a little bit of warmth. If your enclosures are in rooms where it's cooler, or it's, you know, even sort of like, you know, 70 degrees is just on the edge really for getting that humidity. If you have lights on top, that extra warmth from those lights will help with that humidity, because it's drawing the moisture out of the soil, it's drawing it up through the enclosure, and that will give them that lovely humidity. If you're one of these people that advocate, oh, I'm in a t-shirt, you know, we're all lovely and warm, then yeah, you're going to struggle. You really are going to struggle, because for what you feel comfortable, and as we've seen time and time again with the stuff in our room, and also on Facebook, when we get bouts of really, really warm weather, everyone's like, oh, my spiders are out, my spiders are out. Yeah, they're looking for that heat. They want that heat. You know, when you keep them in a room with no external heating, it makes a difference. It slows them right down. So they might get the warmth in the room in the summertime, but you're still not going to aid in that humidity as much. It's more difficult for it to process and actually rise through. It's surprising how warm it needs to be to get a nice humid environment, especially in an artificial wing setup. So hopefully that would have sorted that out. Now with this girl now, she is actually she looks like she's fairly freshly molted. So we will now look out for a male and see if we can't pair them. These are relatively easy spiders to breed. They're not difficult in any way. So if you're keen to try and start out your journey on the breeding, then this would be a cool one to start with. Things like these, the Samopaeus aminia, the Samopaeus cambridgei, all these spiders, I put them all in the same sort of intermediate group. You know, they can be a little bit lively, but if you're fairly confident and nice and calm, as you've seen today, this is going to be a good spider for you. They really are really, really pretty spiders. Right. Well, I hope that was enjoyable, and we're hoping now that she is going to settle in and set up home, and yeah, hopefully produce some beastie room babies later on in the year. That'd be cool. So if anyone's got a male hati, give us a shout in the comments. We are looking for one. Right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.